Right, let's talk about the startup myth. You've seen the t-shirt, the hustle culture nonsense, the one-man wolf pack, sleeping under your desk, surviving on stale pizza and pure fumes of ambition. We're all told the key to winning is simple, just outwork everybody else. Mad hours, no social life, total grind. Nah, that's for the TikTok entrepreneurs, the founders who actually build something that lasts, something that scales. They aren't just working harder. Their mindsets are wired differently. In the next 10 minutes, we're unpacking the 4 psychological traits that are way more powerful than just another all-nighter. That's the real secret sauce. Stick around. You need to know this. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff. It's on fire. Your parachute is a bedsheet. Someone shouting, "You should have jumped yesterday." That's literally just a Tuesday for a founder. It's a relentless pressure cooker. You're on the hook for the team's rent, the investor's money, and this mega fragile idea you're trying to drag into reality. Look, the truth is, it's a psychological minefield. The data is brutal. A staggering 72% of founders report struggling with mental health challenges. It's a crisis hiding in plain sight. This high-stakes game can either forge you into something incredible, or it can absolutely break you. So what separates the forged from the broken? It's not a secret playbook. It's a unique mix of mental grit and emotional savvy that lets them not just survive the chaos, but actually use it. The backbone of the whole mad journey. This isn't just take a punch and cry about it resilience. This is active resilience. It's about treating the bruise as data. When a product launch bombs, and it will, trust me, they don't see it as a personal failure. They see it as a very expensive market research. You get 50 no's from investors. It's not a rejection of their worth, but a sign that the story isn't hitting right. They reframe the hardship. This is the game changer. It turns what feels like a knockout blow into a lesson. It turns an obstacle into a reason to get clever. You see a company on life support, the resilient founder can completely pivot that thing. They can pitch their vision with total conviction even after 100 doors have been slammed in their face. Pro tip, the point isn't to avoid the punches, it's about getting back up a little bit smarter, a little bit tougher than you were before. Trait 2, brutal adaptability. If resilience is your backbone, this is the engine. The business world, especially now in 2025, changes its mind every 5 minutes. What worked yesterday is a fossil by tomorrow. The founders who make it are the ones who are psychologically open to change and willing to scrap their whole plan based on what reality is telling them. They don't cling to their original idea like it's some sacred text. They treat it like a hypothesis that is probably wrong and needs constant testing. A new piece of tech comes out, they aren't moaning about the disruption. They're asking, how can I use this to get ahead? They see change not as a threat, but as the whole point of the game. The adaptability lets them overhaul their product or completely change tack without their ego getting in the way. And that's the trick. You can't learn if your ego is blocking the door. Remember, in the startup world, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is worth more than any fixed plan. Stop being so precious about your ideas. They're just tools. Trait 3, rock solid self-efficacy. Starting a company is an act of pure, unadulterated will. It demands a deep, almost irrational belief in your own ability to figure things out. This is the rocky fuel. It's not arrogance. It's a quiet confidence that no matter what fresh hell tomorrow brings, you will find a way to handle it. This belief is infectious. It's what convinces an investor to bet on something that's still just a slide deck. It's what inspires the first few employees to quit their safe, boring jobs and join your crusade. But the best founders balance this with self-awareness. Their confidence includes being confident enough to admit what they don't know. They surround themselves with people who are smarter than them because their ego is tied to the mission succeeding, not to being the cleverest person in the room. Trait 4, the secret weapon, emotional intelligence. The biggest stereotype is the cold, robotic founder. The truth is, the best ones are the opposite. High EQ is the ability to understand and manage your own emotional state and read and influence the emotions of others. It's what helps a founder build a culture that top talent actually wants to be a part of. It's what allows them to really listen to a customer's problem. And crucially, in a crisis, they can take a breath, manage their own stress, and make a clear-headed call while everyone else is panicking. Get this. Research from Indiana University, based on data from over 65,000 entrepreneurs, suggests that EQ is a stronger predictor of a success in entrepreneurship than IQ. And in a world where 82% of people in startups feel it's hard to talk openly about mental health, high EQ leaders are the ones who can create the psychological safety needed for their teams to absolutely thrive. Right, let's talk about the final boss. Fear. Every founder, even the ones crushing on Twitter, is terrified. Fear of failure, fear of going broke, fear of letting everyone down. It's a constant companion. The difference is successful founders have a weird relationship with their fear. They don't pretend it's not there. They harness it. They take that nervous, twitchy energy and turn it into fuel. The fear of being irrelevant makes them innovate faster. The fear of a competitor catching up makes them work smarter. They get that fear as a sign you're pushing the limit, but they don't let it grab the steering wheel. It's the ultimate paradox. You feel the fear, you acknowledge it's there because you're doing something brave, and then you do it anyway. It's a mental kind of jiu-jitsu, turning a negative into a positive. It's what lets them live on the edge of their comfort zone, which is exactly where all the interesting shit happens. So what's really inside a founder's mind? It's a potent, messy mix of gritty resilience, brutal adaptability, rock-solid self-belief, and sharp emotional intelligence. It's the alchemy of turning sheer terror into forward motion. But here's the good news. These aren't magic traits that you're born with. They're psychological muscles, and like any muscle, you can train them. You can build resilience by getting knocked down and learning from it. You build adaptability by killing your darlings and challenging your own brilliant ideas. You build EQ by shutting up and actually listening to people. Success isn't just about the hustle. It's forged in the mind. The real work is internal. All right, your turn. Which of these psychological traits are you trying to build? Drop a comment below and let's talk about the real work in this game. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on building bulletproof mindset, not just businesses.